Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Physical Media Tonight. And we are back. We are live on a Tuesday evening at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. I know I went live at 9:30 last week, but trying to go live just a little bit earlier because I need to be in bed earlier. I'm staying up too late. Just something I need to do, okay? But yeah, next week might be even earlier. It might be 9 o'clock that I go live. Let me change this color. I still got it pink from yesterday's live stream with my wife. You know what? Pink probably works for this live stream. It's the color of the 80s, right? Let's make it a little bit more hot, a little bit more hot pink. But welcome. I'm happy to see everybody here already. You know, we got 46 people in the chat already. Thank you all for being here. Hit the like button if you haven't already. We are going to be talking about look, guys, I made a video. I put it out on Sunday. I did the 10 best 4Ks of the 80s. I even said in that video, I'm like, look, there's way more than this that are great. But these are just the ones that I chose to pick for this particular video. And I got a lot of pushback on that video. Just a lot of people calling out some incredible 4Ks that I didn't even think of. But I was like, you know what? That is great. And I need to talk about that. So I decided to just turn it into a live stream, do part 2 in a live stream. And I've got, I don't know how many titles I've got here. I think I've got at least 30. I may have 40 titles to cover here tonight. Actually, I may have 50 titles to cover. I'm looking at some of these stacks. I've got 4 stacks, and there's more than 10 in all 4 stacks. There might be 50 titles that we cover tonight. Some 80s 4Ks that are just freaking awesome, and you need to get and own in your collection. But we'll also do a little Q&A action as well. I hope that everybody can hear me okay. Let me scroll all the way down, see if you guys can hear me. John Hollow says, love the shirt. Yeah, I do have my Friday the 13th shirts. We've only got one of those films to potentially talk about as far as a great 4K tonight. So, but look, guys, I haven't seen every single movie that was put out on 4K from the 80s. So if you guys have some recommendations, and I very consciously left off like anything Vinegar Syndrome because I've got a Vinegar Syndrome recommendation video coming later this week for the halfway to Black Friday sale. So didn't want to, at the risk of sounding, redundant and repeating stuff over and over again, I left all the Vinegar Syndrome stuff off the table tonight. But again, I still got 50 titles to cover. I got some Steel books. I've got Kinos. I've got Criterions. I've got Arrow Video. I've got Screen Factory. I've got some Synapse. I've got tons of studio stuff. The studios have done tons of great 4Ks for sure. All right, guys, let me scroll up. Let me scroll to the top. And guys, before I get into the chat and everything, I did drop a review today for the movie Narc on 4K from Arrow Video. Go check out that review. I would appreciate it. I'm going to take a sip on my coffee. Yes, I do have Frankenhooker on the TV in the back. I'm hoping to watch that. That's a part of my monthly Blu-ray 4K watch challenge is Frankenhooker. And for some reason, it keeps going in and out of focus. What's going on? Can you guys see and hear me okay? All right. Let's see. But thank y'all for being here tonight. Toucan Sam says he can hear me. I saw it. We need Debbie Does Dallas in 4K. All right, let's go back up to the top, guys. Let's start with Jacob Frey. On topic, I can't wait to get my Karate Kid 4K with VHS-inspired slipcover, the perfect excuse to upgrade from Blu-ray, even though it's a Blu-ray copy that's nice enough to keep. Yeah, I get it. I kind of want to get it to myself, if I'm being completely honest. I don't think I will, but I kind of want it as well. Let's see. My parents still have our real VHS copy. Nice. I would love to have a VHS copy of the Karate Kid for sure, Jacob. We got Shrekker Not here. We got Mary here. I still watch 911 on ABC. Is that a show? I used to watch Reno 911. I didn't watch 911 though. We got Zub-Zero in the chat. Hello. What's up, Zub-Zero? We got the LFL 83. The best action-packed movie of the 80s is Condor Man. Does that have a 4K? Does Condor Man have a 4K? That movie needs a 4K. I guess it does not. Yeah, I could see, like Kino or Arrow Video doing a movie like that. So we got JB Patton here. What's up, man? Kevin Kruger. Hey, Ken, Breakfast Club needs a 4K. It does. It really does. I don't know what's going on. Like, why I don't know why Criterion's not doing that. Who put out Breakfast Club? Is that I think that's a Universal title. That's weird that Universal hasn't done the Breakfast Club on 4K. They're probably waiting, if I had to guess, for the 40th anniversary, which will be next year, which is stupid. I hate it when, they feel like they have to wait for the anniversary. It's like we need this stuff now, damn it. I'm actually looking up what studio did the Breakfast Club. I'm pretty sure it's Universal. And I know it does have a Criterion, but I don't know if Criterion would be the one to, yeah, it's Universal. I don't know if Criterion would be the one to upgrade that one at this point. I could be wrong though. Johnny82 Utah says, I thought The Shining 4K was pretty good. It might be biased since I have the Steelbook and it's an all-timer. Yeah, a lot of people brought up The Shining. People took me to task. They took me to task in the comment section. They said, Ken, why do you not have this on your list? People always do that, and they'll bring up like 50 movies. And I'm like, guys, I said for one, I said I was only doing 10, so I can't bring up all the ones that you're picking. And for another, it's just the 10 that I picked. Now, I believe that the 10 I picked are great. I think they look great on 4K, but I understand the argument. There was some stuff that people brought up that I was like, maybe I should have had that on the list, and The Shining was definitely one of them. But I almost consciously left some big ones off, especially like horror, because I had a lot of horror on my list already. I was like, I don't want this to be like a horror list only. So I left some of the big ones off and try to shine a spotlight at some lesser known ones. Everybody knows The Shining, everybody knows The Thing on 4K, but I still don't feel like people fully appreciate The Burning, and how great that movie is as a slasher film and how great it looks on 4K. That's a phenomenal 4K from the 80s. I think it's one of the best. Night of the Comet, like if I'm doing a ranking of like best 4Ks of the 80s, that might be top 5 for me. I thought Night of the Comet was incredible looking on 4K. When is Uncle Buck coming to 4K? Kino announced it, but they don't have an official release date yet. Is Footloose worth buying on 4K? I think so. I think it's the best that it's looked. It doesn't look great, but again, I think that's a source material issue with Footloose. I wasn't, upset about it. I thought it looked good on 4K. I reviewed that one though, Kevin. Do you think Criterion put out Amadeus on 4K? I do, and I really feel like this is the year. Like, I feel like somebody's going to put out Amadeus. Maybe it's Warner Brothers that ends up putting it out, or maybe they license it to Kino or something. But I feel like they'll give that one to Criterion and let Criterion put that one out on 4K. And I think that it'll be this year because that's the 40th anniversary. That might actually be like a big November announcement for the Criterion collection. Let's see. Falcon 0822. Hi, Ken. Hope all is good. Great news on Rocky box set collection. Any news on Jaws 3 and 4 or Terminator? No news on any of those. I'm honestly surprised. Like Terminator, I anticipated would probably come out September, October, but like Jaws, I anticipated we were going to be getting an announcement by now because we're like, a month and a half away or like a month away from when Jaws 2 came out last year. So like that should have been announced by now. We should have already gotten a slip. So that kind of worries me. It kind of tells me that maybe we're not going to get those this year. Maybe it's going to be next year that we get Jaws 3 and Jaws 4 on 4K. Maybe there were some issues with the restoration or something. Adrian, hi, Kenny Levels. How you keeping, pal? I'm keeping good, Adrian. I'm keeping good. I appreciate you being here. We got Pete Cap. You have to get this guy on. He has the best collection of The Thing I've ever seen. Who are you talking about, Pete? You have to get this guy on. You talking about the guy that was on? I saw like Christian put up a video with a guy from Planet CHH, a guy showing off his Thing collection. I haven't watched it, but seemed like a good collection. I think I follow that guy on Instagram though. Yeah, Movies of Brandon, for sure. But there is a video where he shows off all the Thing editions in his collection. Go check it out. It's on Planet CHH. What's up, Ken Dog? Hello to everyone in the chat. What's up, Lutulo? How you doing, man? What's up, Don? Hi, Ken. I filed a complaint to BBB about Screen Factory and their behavior regarding asking for Company of Wolves or replacement disc. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get what the issue was with that Toucan Sam. I really don't. That's a very weird situation you had to deal with Screen Factory there. We did get a super chat. Thank you so much, Gus. Jaws 3 and 4 4K. Gus wants it. He wants the Jaws. He wants all the Jaws on the 4Ks. I do as well, Gus. I really do. But thank you so much for the super chat, Gus. Let's drop you a little clip right here. I appreciate it.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Good old Jim. I need to get Jim some more Jim Carrey clips. I need to get the clip of him. Can I ask you a few questions? Or do not go in there. Woo! When are we gonna get some Jim Carrey movies on 4K? God, I'm chomping at the bit for some Jim on 4K. All right, yeah. Somebody mentioned the Rocky collection. I'll talk about this on the physical media report next week, but I guess I can bring it up now. The pre-order for the Rocky 1 through 6 collection is up on Groove right now. As of right now, it's up, and it's coming out July the 16th. So that's exciting. I got the 4-pack of the first 4, and I do want them all. I do want 5, and I really want Balboa because I love that movie. And this is going for $89.99. So, the steel books are $30 a piece. So if you don't have the other ones, that's a pretty good deal, I guess. You can get the other ones. I've seen that set for like $35 before. So yeah, it's just I want them to do like individual slipcovers. So I can just get the regular 5 and 6, even though it'll be annoying. I guess I could sell that collection, but like, who's going to be wanting to buy that now that we're getting the announcement for the 1 through 6 collection? So I would end up selling it to like half price books for probably $5 or something. So like, would it be worth it? I might as well just keep them both at that point. But I definitely want 5 and 6. I'm just kind of trying to figure out like how I want to approach it, because like if I get 5 and 6, the steel books, like that's just going to irritate me because I don't have 1 through 4, the steel books. I should have anticipated this. I should have got all the steel books back then, but I was trying to save some money and I got the 4-pack. Well, no, I actually think I got the 4-pack from Warner Brothers to review. So that's why I got the 4-pack, because I got it into review, and I just never got the steel books, which I don't know if I'm going to get this into review or not. As of right now, maybe I will, and I won't have to worry about it. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, if I get the steel books, like it's going to irritate me, but it's also going to irritate me to rebuy 1 through 4 as well. But it's just they always put you in these predicaments. It's like it's just hard to decide like what you want to do when they do crap like this, and it's like they release part of the franchise and the other part. I imagine people were having to deal with this when the Star Trek movies came out, because they did 1 through 4, and then a year later they did 1 through 6, and it was a whole big mess. And then they did individual slipcovers, but that was Paramount, and this is Warner Brothers, and they traditionally don't do stuff like that. So it's really going to irritate me if they do that with Nightmare. If they do like a 1 through 3 collection, and then next year they do like 1 through 7, or they do 1 through 4 this year, and then 1 through New Nightmare next year. It's like that kind of stuff is just irritating. Like, why don't do that? Like, if you're going to do that, then do like individual slips too, so we can at least match those along with it. But it's collector problems at the end of the day, right? It really doesn't matter. So at least that's what some people tell me. I shouldn't get so hyped up and upset about some of this stuff. But you know what? I do. This is what I do. I talk about physical media. I talk about issues. I talk about what I love. I talk about what I don't love. And that's why we're here, right? All right, let's yeah, I don't get that, man. Blacklisting. Does anybody else have an issue with Screen Factory getting blacklisted by Screen Factory? That's weird. I wasn't being negative either to them via email. I wanted a new disc because my 4K was seriously scratched. Yeah, I get it, man. I get it. The night out Dog Day Afternoon for sure. I want on 4K. That's a movie from the 70s, shot on film. It will look great in 4K. So yeah, I would definitely take Dog Day Afternoon on 4K. Rocky 6 movie 4K set on pre-order now on Groove. Yep, we just went over that. Furiosa Mad Max Saga in theaters May 24th. Yeah, that's coming out this weekend. I was surprised that was coming out so quickly. This month has flown by. No, I don't get it. I don't get why they would do it. I talked about that a couple of weeks ago when I was talking about the disappointing July slate of Screen Factory and Phantoms and all that. I was like, why wouldn't y'all do? Doesn't Red Sony have a 4K overseas? I just don't get it. I don't get it. So yeah, that's very weird to me. Falcon for sure. Kevin, I've been waiting impatiently to hear about Uncle Buck. It was about a year ago that Kino Lorber announced they were working on it. Yeah, I would say we'll get the announcement pretty soon. Some stuff it just depends. It really just depends like what they're working on. and just how fast that restoration process goes, I guess, how long it takes. Sometimes it seems like it takes a year and a half. In the case of To Live and Die in LA, it was like 2 years. And sometimes it takes a year. That's usually the standard, I feel like, is a year. And then sometimes it's 6 months, like In and Out, I think just got officially announced to come out on 4K. And that was announced not too long ago, I don't think. The Devil's Advocate would be a good one to come to 4K for sure. Seeing pics on browsing, having Twister's 4K standard with a slipcover. Have you seen? Yeah, I posted that on my Instagram today. So I got the actual like official press release from Warner Brothers for Twister, and what they were showing in their image, it looked like it had a slipcover. Will it or not? I don't know. On Groove, it's still showing without one. But on the actual like press release, it looked like the slipcover edition. It had the same artwork and everything, but it had the 4K banner. It just looked like a slipcover edition. So I'm thinking that it will, based on that press release, and maybe Groove will update that picture. Something tells me that they don't think about that kind of stuff. Like I just feel like they don't think that kind of stuff's important. So maybe Groove won't change it, or I don't know. It's weird sometimes. I don't even know where they got the initial image of Twister without the slipcover. Like, where did that come from when we got the official announcement today? So it's kind of weird, when it comes to that stuff. But I think it's going to have one. I mean, judging by the picture I got today from Warner Bros., it looks like it's going to have one. So that's good news for all you slipcover cardboard enthusiasts out there. The Strangers Chapter 1 did not get a 4K Ultra HD. Yeah, it is. It's getting. I mean, the first two didn't. Like that's kind of funny. The first Strangers and Pray at Night did not get 4Ks, but Strangers Chapter 1, which is the most poorly received Stranger film, is getting a 4K. It's got a 4K Steelbook pre-order up, and it's got a regular 4K, and it's got a regular Blu-ray pre-orders up right now. So bam. And guys, we got 100 people in the chat right now. Thank you all so much for being here. Hit that like button if you haven't already. All right. Let's see. Yeah, the mayor says there is an overseas 4K of Red Sonja. All right, guys, I got to start zooming through the chat. I don't want to get started on my best 4Ks of the 80s at 10:30. So I'm going to try to zoom through the chats and get to the topic of the video tonight. The Dundies, the 4K trailer of Twister showed the 4K, the standard 4K with a slip. I already read that. What am I doing? Happy birthday, Brian. Today is my birthday. I'm watching all the Mad Max movies this week with Furiosa Friday. Yeah, I would want to do that. I just don't have the time, and I got too many 4Ks piling up I need to watch to review and stuff, and then my challenge month and all that. And I feel like I watched Road Warrior and Beyond Thunderdome and the first one fairly recently. It was like, when did those come out? Wasn't that, I think that was 2021 actually, that those came out. But I remember reviewing those. So it hasn't been that long. If anything, I would just rewatch Fury Road because that feels more in line with this new universe that they're doing. What's up, Nancy? It's time to play ball. Well, thank you for being here, Nancy. I appreciate you being here. I wonder if they'll put Little Shop of Horrors out on 4K, and if so, I hope they do the director's cut because it's probably one of the best I've seen. It actually has the film. I've heard that they are working on that actually, Grayson. What's up, Raymond? I may get it. I may look at the count, see how many they have left. If they're selling out, I may go ahead and pull the trigger on it. But I've been trying to be good, guys, just not impulsively pre-order stuff when I've got like thousands of movies I need to watch anyway. And I'm sure I can hold off on the Nail Gun Massacre on 4K. I do like to support TerrorVision. They're a new up-and-coming company, so I'll get it at some point. Yes, I seen, but I heard it wasn't confirmed. Blade 2 4K. Yeah, Blade 2 4K is supposed to be coming. 305 says, what's up, Kim? What's up? What's up, Right 9060? You going to buy the new Rocky 4K collection? Will you review it in Married with Media? Probably not. I don't see me getting my wife to watch all the Rocky films and review them. I mean, maybe at some point, but we probably won't do it like when the 4K comes out. Let's see. Thank you, John. Thank you, John. Vinegar Syndrome needs to back to acquiring heavy hitters like TCM 2 in Amityville. I haven't had an interest in a single announcement of theirs since. Yeah, I mean, I've talked about that before. That's just, Vinegar Syndrome just doesn't operate in the mainstream too much. Those were kind of, because I got really hyped up by those 2 releases, and I'm like, oh man, like Vinegar Syndrome, like they're taking off, like they're gonna start releasing tons of mainstream horror titles that everybody knows and loves, and they're gonna give them that loving 4K treatment. And that was quickly revealed to not be the case as we went into 2023. So I kind of just lowered my expectations a little bit. And I feel like since I've done that, I've been more happy with the Vinegar Syndrome stuff that they have been announcing and putting out. And I actually think they've been having a great year. It's just they're not putting out mainstream stuff, but the stuff that they're putting out, I'm interested in and I'm actually enjoying. So, but I get it. I get it. Nice, nice, nice. Yep. Everybody's hyped up about movies of Brandon's Thing collection. That is, I wish I had a movie like that where I was just like, I'm collecting every edition and just like sought it out and stuff. But usually I'm just like, all right, I've got 3 or 4 editions of this movie. I'm good. Nice, Mayor. No Crow Steelbook restock yet. Doesn't seem to be, man. Doesn't seem to be. I don't even know. Oh, Sarah, what's up, Sarah? Nice to have you here. I haven't seen you in a while. Let me get on Blu-ray.com real quick because I don't even know if because the 4K was like out of stock. Like the regular 4K was out of stock at one point. Okay, the regular 4K is back in stock. And then I'm looking at the Steelbook. It's new for $60, but that's probably somebody reselling it. So yeah, I hope they put it back in stock. I mean, Paramount's usually pretty good about it, so hopefully we get some news of it being back in stock soon. Debbie Does Dallas, agree 100%. Slaughter High and Pieces 4K for thoughts on these movies. I haven't seen Pieces or Slaughterhouse, so I don't have too many thoughts on those. Insatiable. What's up, Ruben? Let's see. What's up, Kevin? Brainer, Frankenhooker is awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching it. I'm digging Frank Henenlotter's filmography from what I've seen. Where's my damn Uncle Buck 4K? Everybody's complaining about the Uncle Buck. Hell yes, it does. I want a 4K at this point now that they made us wait so damn long. Can't Buy Me Love is a great movie. I want Loverboy as well. Just speaking of Patrick Dempsey 80s movies. I loved those movies when I was a kid. Let's see. Oh, they're still honoring it. That's cool. That's cool. What's up, Deadly Spooky? Yeah, we do need Near Dark. I'm kind of hoping we get that because I haven't seen that movie, and I think it's pretty hard to get on physical media. So I'm hoping that 4K will be my first time watch of that movie. Kind of saving myself for the 4K. Not a lot. I've got like 2 or 3 titles picked out that I am firm on getting. I'm not going to go crazy. I'm just going to get 2. I want Rabid Grannies, I think, is one of them. And there was another one that came out on 4K last year that I didn't pick up that still has the slipcover. So, yeah, I'm hoping to snatch up a couple of titles really quick before they sell out because some of those slips are running pretty low. Yep. I would too. It is, but that's a 70s 4K. I talked about that in my 70s video. Joseph wants all the Stallone movies and Seagal 4Ks, as well as A Long Kiss Goodnight. Yeah, it's a great 4K. Such a great 4K. Fright Night 2. Yeah, that needs a physical for sure. What's up, Huck, man? How you doing? We got Adrian, The Hidden on 4K. 80 watching, 43 likes. Yeah, hit that like button, guys, if you haven't already. I'd appreciate it. Fright Night 1 does have a 4K Toucan Sam. They do. From Dusk Till Dawn, I don't know when that's coming. Yeah, Short Circuit would be cool. See, I never got the Bill and Ted movies on 4K, mainly because I'm just not a huge fan of those movies. And I've got a Blu-ray double pack from Shout that is fine. But I'll get them at some point and revisit them. I actually like Bogus Journey more than I did Excellent Adventure, and I don't think that's a popular opinion. Another hidden gem like Rad, $50 is just asking a lot. Yeah, they need to reprint that because I would kind of want that as well. Yeah, Umbrella really teased me last night because they put out a post and they're like, "Are you ready to see what's behind the mask?" before they unveiled their September announcements, and I was like, "Are you guys going to do the mask on 4K?" That would have been super cool, but they didn't. They announced some cool stuff, but nothing like super notable. Yeah, it will look amazing. I'm chomping at the bit for that. I'm surprised they haven't done that. A Wes Craven film. Uh, did I see the new Twister 4K trailer that Warner? No, I didn't see that. I didn't see that. Were they showing clips of how it looks on 4K? Um, it is. It definitely is. Uh, Dale, what are you talking about? Dale's going crazy out there. It's a shame the virgin Ken doesn't ever rank his list. Be a man and have a spine and be a backbone and rank everything. Man, Dale, you're really coming at me strong. I got 2 kids, right? So I've had sex at least twice. Okay. Uh, but I like ranking stuff. I do. I've done rankings on the channel before, but I just I I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where to go with that, Dale. I don't know. I don't know what you're trying to say. Hey, thanks for the heads up. Picked up Tim Burton Batman Steelbook. Are we going to get any Mel Brooks films on 4K? I would love to see a big box set. I would too, man. I would too. I mean, we need Blazing Saddles on 4K. We need Young Frankenstein on 4K. Those are the classic Mel Brooks movies that we definitely need on 4K. Um, American Gothic on 4K would really bring in a ton of sales, but you never know. Yeah, that was a big movie for sure. Oh, here you go, Dale. Let me rank some stuff for you. Okay, let me show a spine and a backbone here. I can rank the Rocky movies. Let's see. Coming in at number 5 would be Rocky 5, of course. Coming in at number 4 would be Rocky 4, which I think that's probably the most unpopular opinion because a lot of people would put Rocky 4 up at number 1. So that's my spine, Dale, putting Rocky 4 at number 4. Okay, I love all these movies. I'll be honest, I love all these movies, especially Rocky 4. It's got a kick-ass soundtrack. It's great. I love it. But the first 3 just mean so much more to me, and I just think they're so much better movies. So coming at number 3, this is where it gets tough because I love all these movies so much. Coming at number 3 would be Rocky 2. Number 2 would be Rocky 3, and number 1 would be the first Rocky. So that's my ranking. That's tough. I've done a Rocky ranking on the channel before, actually. Let's see. We actually talked about that on my wife and I's channel last night, Married with Media Live. So if you want to see my thoughts on that, go check out that stream that we did last night because we talked about that very thing. But I'll go ahead and tell you, I'm kind of looking forward to it. I'll be honest. I'm looking forward to Happy Gilmore 2 on Netflix. It's probably not going to be great, but I want him to do sequels for all of his classic movies. Billy Madison 2, Wedding Singer 2, Waterboy 2. Just bring them all back. Big Daddy 2. Let's see. What's up, Paul? Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Hi, Ken. 80s movies that need a 4K, like Rumblefish, Tootsie, 9 to 5, Moonstruck, Big, Working Girl, Diva, The Killer, Raising Arizona, to name a few. That's a lot, man, but you had some good ones there for sure. But thank you so much for the super chat. That would be a good stream to talk about 80s movies that need 4Ks. Let's give you a little J love, Paul.
What are you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for?
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much, Paul. I appreciate it. Let's see. We need more concerts on 4K. Yeah. The original It does need a 4K. Eyes Wide Shut. I heard about that coming to 4K like 4 years ago. So I don't know what's going on with that. Speaking of Rocky, what about the 4K? Yeah. I don't know why we don't have that one. We should have that one too. I want Swordfish on 4K. That's a good movie. I haven't seen that in a long time. 4K Steelbook, Jaws 4 on the Wrench. Yeah, I mean, I would assume we would have gotten pre-orders of those, pretty soon. We should have got those already. Let's see, concerts. We need some 90s classics on 4K, like Three Ninjas because Rocky loves Emily. Yeah, Three Ninjas would be a great VSU title if they did that. I want Troll 2 on 4K for the popcorn scene. That lady can knob on my corn. I haven't seen Troll 2. Scott Pink is here. Hey, Ken, do you think they're ever going to get Lethal Weapon franchise out on 4K? I think so. I honestly feel like this is the year. I feel like this is the year that we'll get it on 4K. I don't feel like they'll wait all the way to the 40th anniversary because that would be 3 more years to get that. So I feel like this will be the year for Lethal Weapon. I can see that being like a November release or something. I haven't seen it yet. I do have the 4K. My wife and I watched the Pop-Tart Netflix movie with Jerry Seinfeld tonight before I went live. It's called Unfrosted. It's really stupid. Really stupid. It's like a parody, but I kind of enjoyed it. I thought it was okay. It's probably not anything I would watch again, but Ken, remind us why Bubba Hotep and Roadhouse Remake are your favorite movies ever. Seriously, though, I think The Arrow Witness is a great 4K. That may come up tonight. Yeah, I love the Roadhouse Remake and Bubba Hotep for sure. Favorite movies of all time. Finally got my Doom Part 3 Steelbook. Doom Part 3? You got the Doom Part 3 Steelbook already? My goodness. Sunday on my birthday, I saw Stranger Chapter 1 and walked out and contemplated on ending it all. Worst birthday ever. I bet. Yeah, we do need the Ernest movies. What? I feel like I heard about that a couple of years ago. It was a surprise. It was a surprise for sure. It was a nice surprise. I'm ready, Gus. I am ready. Let's see. Just got the Shout Factory, Red Dawn, and True Lies on 4K today. Nice. Jim Carrey, Sandlam. Oh, thank you, Mozart's Ghost. I appreciate that. I know you're anticipating an Amadeus 4K for sure. We need a stateside, the Hitcher 1986 4K release. Well, unfortunately, I mean, the next 4K release we get of the Hitcher will be second sight. So that's overseas. I don't know if they're going to do it stateside or not. Yeah, some people are having those steelbooks like in their Walmarts. Like they're just walking in there and finding them on the shelf. So they obviously have more copies. And they said they were sold out when they have more copies because they wanted to put stuff in stores, I guess, which is cool. Definitely cool, but kind of sucks for people that wanted to pre-order. See, I mean, Caveman found one, the Walmart Crow Steelbook off the outer loop. Damn. I've been out there before. Do Terminator 6 film collection DVD unboxing. I don't have the 6 film collection DVD, so I can't do the unboxing, Tyrese. That's a very weird unboxing you would want me to do. Dune 2 and Star Trek 3 4K steels have shipped. Nice. Yeah, weird that they're just doing the third Star Trek. Like they didn't do the second one, but they're going to do the third or the first. What are the Arrow Giallo collections worth buying? Are they region locked? They're not region locked. But to be honest, like I haven't seen all the movies in those sets. Like my favorite of those sets that I've seen is Torso. Like I think that's a great Giallo film that's directed by Sergio Martino. And I love that movie. I can't remember all the other ones in that set. But I watched a couple more and they were okay, but they just weren't as good as like some of the great Giallo films, like from Argento and Fulci and Bava. But I liked them. I just didn't love them. So I can't adequately answer if they're worth buying. Like there's one movie in those sets that I love, but they're not region locked. Point Break was incredible. Like that was one that I watched it and I was like, man, I'm hoping I love this movie because everybody seems to love this movie and I don't want to let people down. A lot of people seem to think I watch like classic movies that I've never seen before and I crap on them just to do it, to be controversial. And that's not the case. I actually love talking about movies that I loved watching and enjoyed. And that was one I got done with it. I'm like, hell yes, I'm so excited to talk about this. That was so freaking good. So yeah, Point Break was incredible. I don't know why I never watched it when I was a kid, but I love that movie so much. Let's see. When do you think the Terminator will come out in 4K? If I had to bet, I'd say that's a November release. I feel like that's a November release because I think September will be Nightmare for Warner Brothers, and I feel like Terminator and possibly Lethal Weapon, we could get both in November. Those will be November releases. Maybe Lethal Weapon will be December, like because the first one's kind of Christmas themed, so maybe that'll be around December for the Lethal Weapon. But that would be what I would bet, Kevin, because we've already got the announcement for Nightmare. So if we're getting Terminator, I have to assume they're going to do like an overseas Steelbook edition as well, like do it up big for that one also. So yeah, that's what I would anticipate. Ken, what's up, Jorge? What do you think about some of the movies with IMAX ratios being on streaming and yet not present on 4K disc? I think it's shit. Like if it's available on streaming, look, we're talking about it tomorrow on the channel. I've already got a video uploaded talking about streaming and 4Ks and what's available on 4K on streaming, but not in actual physical form, and the price of 4Ks, the cost of 4Ks, box office, what that has to do with what gets a 4K, what doesn't. I just let it all out. Like I did a whole video today. I'm going to upload it tomorrow. So we'll get into all that, but I think it's crap. Like if you're going to make it available on streaming, then you need to damn sure make sure it's available on physical. Because I mean, you're charging less. Like usually the movies cost less on streaming than they do physical. So like you're spending more and you're buying the product. Like what does it matter to the studios? Like how you're consuming their product. Like if they're putting it out physical, putting it out on streaming, like you should have the option to get what you want, and you shouldn't be penalized for buying physical, which is what I feel like they're doing. So I've got a big issue with that. I want freaking fly. I want to hear Brendel fly in Atmos. Yeah, for sure. I don't think it'll be in Atmos, but we did get another super chat. Thank you so much, Joseph Herman, $25 super chat. Thanks for having this live. Ken, you the man. Well, thank you so much for being here, Joseph, and thank you for the $25 super chat. I do appreciate it. Let me give you for that for $25. I gotta give you a good old Al. Okay.
She got a great ass, and you got your head all the way up it.
Great ass, and she's got her head all the way up in it. She does, or he does. Sorry, guys. Yeah, Cruel and Clash of the Titans. I would love to see the. Are you talking about the old Clash of the Titans? Like, isn't there one in the 50s? That's the one that I grew up on. I would love to see that in 4K. Yeah, I want the Mighty Ducks trilogy in 4K, but Disney won't get up off their ass and do anything with their catalog except for do Disney Movie Club exclusives that suck anyway. So why am I going to pay my money to get those? Like they did a sale, or I could have signed up for the Disney Movie Club and got a bunch of those movies, but it's like I don't want crappy transfers of these movies because I've heard those transfers aren't that good. I do want to own them. I do have the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids movies because somebody sent those to me from the Disney Movie Club, but I just don't want like subpar transfers. Like I want them to look good. Like Mighty Ducks will look incredible in 4K. Like those movies will look amazing, but Disney just sucks ass and they'll never do anything with their stuff. So it's like, I might as well just forget about those movies. I'll catch them on streaming when I can, but it's just, it's shitty. It's shitty. I hate it. Yeah. Just, it is what it is. It is what it is. I get shitty comments on the daily now, and it's fine. Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer 4K from Arrow is really good. I wish I would have got that, man. I don't know why I didn't get it, but for whatever reason, I didn't get it. It was in that weird period, like where I was just kind of reluctant to get the UK stuff, and I wasn't really ordering from Diabolic yet. And once I like realized how easy it was to get stuff from them, I started ordering more Second Sight, more overseas 4Ks from Arrow Video. But I didn't get that one or Naked Lunch. I wish I would have got Naked Lunch too. She doesn't know. She doesn't know. It's something I've been meaning to tell her for a long time. Gary says, this isn't crazy that both Young Frankenstein and Brazen Sows are both released. I can't believe I didn't know that. I actually didn't know that. I should have known that, but yeah, it's Moreau. I know. Once my brain like latches on to how to pronounce something, that's just the way I do it. And since I was a kid, I've always said Dr. Monroe. But it's Moreau. Yeah, it's Moreau. I know it. Denzel. Jeff Goldblum's charming, but he's like a weird, quirky kind of charming. Like it's not the same as Denzel. There's not too many people that would beat Denzel in a charming battle, I don't feel like. Yeah, Flight of the Navigator. Yeah, those are definitely ones we need. Yeah, that would be a really cool box set to get for sure. That'd be something cool that Scream Factory could do. I would love to have Moonwalker on 4K simply because it would mean having Smooth Criminal, concert footage, and other terrific short films from Michael Jackson. Yeah, that would be cool. I would love to get a Thriller, 4K. No, it means I want to watch it when the stream's over with. Yeah, Turner and Hooch would be cool. 3 O'Clock High, I just watched for the first time last year, and that was from Garrett, Born to Be Red. He recommended that one. He kept talking about it, so I watched it. That's a really fun movie, enjoyable movie. I would take a 4K, sure. Maximum Overdrive, for sure. That's a day one purchase. Back to School, I love, and Big Trouble in Little China. Like, that one needs a 4K, but that's another one that's a Fox title, and who knows if it'll ever get one. Yeah, it's weird they didn't do RoboCop 3 with RoboCop 2. It just feels weird to not release them all together. All right, guys. So I'm going to get into my list here in a second. What's up, Eli? It was. I actually forgot to pull that one over here, but that is a great 4K from the 80s. That is. So, yeah. And Swamp Thing was good, too. MPD Rewind's been doing good stuff. Oh, nice. Nice. You got your American Hustle in. They are. And I like to, if I don't like something, I like to repeat view it, All right. Bubba Hotep is ass. I agree. That's one I'm not really in a hurry to revisit. Yeah, Heat's incredible. It's an incredible movie. Absolutely incredible movie. Probably not. Not in today's climate, for sure. I doubt they would because they just did it on Blu-ray last year. I would love the Gate in 4K. I would love it in 4K. Night Flyer on 4K. That one I think still needs a Blu-ray, doesn't it? What's up, Smirk? How you doing tonight, man? Let's see. Ken, Get the Lady from Shanghai. Anything with Rita Hayworth is worth checking out. No pun intended. I mean, I've got it. I've got the Blu-ray from Kino, so I still need to watch that before I decide on whether or not I want the 4K. But anyway, guys, look, let's get into my list. You guys took me to task. You did. I put up that list of the best 4Ks of the 80s. And you guys said, you know what, Ken, what about this? And what about this? And what about this? And what about this? And I'm like, you know what? We're just going to cover it all in a live stream. So that's what I'm going to do tonight. Now, I will say one big release that I do not have that a lot of people wanted me to talk about, the Star Wars movies. And it's not because I'm not a fan. I used to be the biggest Star Wars fan there was. I've got the 6-movie Blu-ray collection. That's what I watched, a lot before the new Disney movies came out. But I never bought those 4Ks. I honestly wish I would have got that big collector's set when they released that, but I didn't. For whatever reason, it was just expensive, and I just wasn't spending that kind of money on physical media at that time when that came out. So I didn't get that. But the big reason I didn't get the 4Ks, I think Disney Plus had just started and they were on 4K on Disney Plus. And I had just watched them all, and the new movies just kind of had me soured on Star Wars in general. So I just wasn't really itching to jump back into them. And I was just like, I'll get these later on down the line. And another reason, and this is probably a stupid reason to most people, but I didn't like the artwork on the 4Ks. I just didn't like it. I didn't like the black look with the little like colored posters on the inside. I just thought it was shitty artwork. So I was kind of holding out for them to redo them or do different types of artwork, or maybe some cool steel books or something, or maybe like a smaller box set release of all of them on 4K. I don't know why they never did that. Kind of like how they did Indiana Jones or Back to the Future or something like that. of at least like, 1 through 6, the originals and the prequels, but I never bought them. I never bought the 4Ks of the original 6 movies. So the originals and then the prequels I don't have on 4K. Now I do have The Force Awakens. I've got The Last Jedi. I've got Rise of Skywalker, unfortunately, on 4K. I've got Solo. I've got Rogue One. Actually, I don't think I've got Rogue One on 4K. I think I still got that one on Blu-ray. But I got some of the newer ones on 4K. I just don't have any of the older ones. So I've never watched them on 4K. I will at some point. At some point, I will own those movies on 4K. I just haven't had the desire to watch Star Wars. So I'm just like, I don't know. I just never got them. And that artwork, I didn't like it. There's been plenty of sales where I've thought about just going ahead and grabbing at least the original 3, but I just didn't do it. So, and part of me hopes that it's someday they'll release like some kind of like the originals before George Lucas messed with them. But I know that that's probably not going to happen, at least while he's still alive. So that might be like 15 years into the future that we get something like that, and it may never happen. I know that there's bootleg editions of them though, but anyway, that's a long explanation as to why you're not going to see any Star Wars in my best of the 80s tonight. Now, I went through my entire collection pretty much like for 25 minutes before the stream started. I know I missed some stuff, guys. I know I missed some stuff. So if there's some stuff that I'm not calling out, let me know in the comment section below. There's some stuff from the 80s that I haven't watched. Some of it I brought over, and I'll let you know if I haven't watched it or not. But I just want to call it out anyway because a lot of people were recommending it. So, all right, guys, I'm going to quit talking. Let's get into it. Well, I'm not going to quit talking. I'm going to continue to talk while I go over these best 4Ks of the 80s. We got Return of the Living Dead. And I'm just going to run through my Scream Factories really quick because I just did a Scream Factory recommendation live stream like 2 weeks ago. So again, it kind of feels a little redundant, but this was a great looking 4K. It really was. And it's a really great 80s horror movie. This is one that a lot of people love this movie and talk this movie up. And I watched it for the first time, I think 3 years ago. And it was worth like every single bit of the hype. Like I loved this movie from the first time watch. So but really solid, great looking 4K. This movie has spectacular practical effects. The Tar Man in 4K looks spectacular, looks great. And yeah, every time I like hold this movie and talk about it and look at the cover art, like I actually want to rewatch it. So, but Return of the Living Dead, that's a fantastic 4K for sure. Great movie. Silver Bullet. This is one of the best 4Ks I've ever seen. Like just hands down, one of the best 4Ks. Like Scream Factory had an incredible run last year, and this was one of the best. So Silver Bullet looks great on 4K. It really does. As does My Bloody Valentine. These are both, I think I reviewed Silver Bullet, but My Bloody Valentine I never reviewed on the channel, but this was a spectacular looking 4K. Like both of these look so great. Like pretty much any 4K horror film that Scream Factory did last year was one of the best that I've ever seen. So just 2 great 4Ks for sure from Scream Factory that came out last year. Escape from New York. This is a great John Carpenter movie. This was a great restoration. I feel like I've talked about this recently, but I think it was in my Scream Factory recommendations, but I don't think I included this in best of the 80s, but I did love this 4K. This is a great 4K for sure. We also got They Live, another John Carpenter movie, classic movie. This looks great on 4K. Such great, special effects and how it goes in and out from like the black and white when he's putting the shades on and stuff, and all that stuff looks great in 4K. Alligator. I love this movie. This looked great on 4K. This is a great release. I talk about the Bryan Cranston special feature a lot, but I thought this looked stunning in 4K. I really did. I thought the alligator just looked so good. Like when he comes up out of the sewer, like, when all the kids are playing baseball in the street, it looks so cool. And yeah, the 4K is great. I thought Alligator was a great 4K release. I'll bring up the first Child's Play. This is the only Child's Play film in the 80s, but I thought this looked great on 4K. I really did. I thought it looked spectacular. So I had to talk about the first Child's Play for sure. Great looking 4K. We also got, let me talk about some Halloween films. I'll bring up Halloween 2 and Halloween 4. I didn't get Halloween 5 because I don't remember that one looking as good as these two. It looked good, but I don't remember it being like a best of material. But Halloween 2 looked spectacular in 4K, but I really remember like Halloween 4 looking great. And I remember like I hadn't seen this movie since the DVD era because I never bought the Blu-ray for it. So this was like a jump from DVD to 4K for me. And I was just blown away, like all the stuff I was seeing in this movie for the first time. It felt like just seeing this movie in an entirely different way. But yeah, Halloween 2 and 4 are definitely great 4Ks from the 80s. Like I said, I'm going through all my Scream Factory stuff first, guys. This is the last one, but Night of the Demons. I reviewed this last year. Absolutely spectacular 4K. I thought this was off the charts great. So Night of the Demons was a fantastic 4K release. Great practical special effects in this one as well. And this was a cool one because there were new interviews on this. There were brand new interviews on this, and they already did this one before. So there was all the archival stuff, and then there was new interviews as well. But yeah, this one was pretty much the same as like Night of the Comets and Silver Bullet and My Bloody Valentine. Like just one of the best restorations I saw in all of 2023. And I feel like it came out at a time when people weren't paying attention to it. And I don't think people really hyped up the greatness of this release. So I'm giving it credit here, but that's all my Scream Factory stuff that I didn't already previously discussed in my video on Sunday. I think I talked about The Burning and another title that I'm Night of the Comet. Those are the two Scream Factors. And Halloween 3, I also talked about. We got Maniac right here. This is a Blue Underground release. Like Blue Underground does some of the best work with their 4K restoration. So I highly recommend this release from Blue Underground. This is a great looking 4K and a really just like nasty, disgusting, grimy movie. I'm trying to see this was directed by Bill Lustig, who I think actually founded Blue Underground, if I'm not mistaken. But great looking 4K, and this has got Joe Spinell in it, and I think this is the first like Joe Spinell led movie that I've ever seen. Of course, he's in Rocky and stuff. I know him from that, but like this is a pretty chilling performance by him for sure. And this movie just it goes for it for sure, and it's really nasty, really disgusting. But everything looks great in 4K. All the nasty disgustingness just looks phenomenal in 4K. So Maniac is a great 4K release from Blue Underground. Highly recommend that. I've also got a couple of Argento 4Ks right here that I'm going to throw out there. We've got Tenebrae and Phenomena. These are both great looking 4Ks, both in the 80s. Tenebrae, I feel like, especially because there's like tons of great, like gory, bloody scenes in this. I'm thinking about one in particular where she gets her arm lopped off and there's blood spraying all over the white walls. And that stuff just looks great in 4K. So I love Tenebrae so much that honestly, like that goes like neck and neck with Deep Red is what's my favorite Argento film. And I feel like Tenebrae might take it because it's so like it just goes for it. Like Deep Red's a little bit more traditional in its approach, but Tenebrae is just more wild and out there. And I feel like it's Dario just a little bit more unhinged in this one than Deep Red. But I love the movie. Phenomenon, I'm growing to love this movie a lot too. And there's some really like cool sequences in this movie, like the stuff at the end with her in the pit with like all the bones and the bugs and all that stuff. That stuff looks great in 4K. So yeah, Phenomenon, Tenebrae, these are great 4K editions right here. I think what I did with these, I didn't do it with Tenebrae because these got like slipcover editions, but I put the slipcover inside the Phenomena release. And I thought I was going to do it with the Tenebrae release, but it doesn't look like I did. But both the box sets aren't still available, but they were great releases for sure. All right, guys, we're gonna get through all my well, I've got steelbooks on the top, so we got some more studio stuff. I'll go through the steelbooks and then I'll get back into the chat a little bit. But we got Young Guns. This came out last year. I thought this looked great. This is a Western movie. Like there's not a lot of Westerns in the 80s. There's really not. The Western kind of felt like it died for a little bit in the 80s. And Young Guns kind of brought it back. And this is a really spectacular looking 4K. Like I've said it before, but Westerns usually look great in 4K, and this was no exception. So Young Guns was a great 4K from the 80s for sure. We got some great, spectacular artwork on the steelbook also. And I did not get the slipcover edition. Stand By Me, great 4K, absolutely phenomenal 4K. Really enjoyed this one for sure. Like there's a lot of this movie that takes place outside, and then you got the trees and the grass, and everything just looks phenomenal. Like the steelbook added the Dolby Vision, which the original 4K didn't have. So this is my first time watching this movie in 4K. And I thought it looked spectacular. So Stand By Me, that's a standout 4K for sure. Also got to talk about Fright Nights from 1985. I thought this looked great. Sony did a spectacular job on Fright Night in 4K for sure. I'm kind of disappointed that, we just got a steelbook for this one. Like, I wish that this one got like some kind of super nice like 4K box set. But that doesn't take away from the transfer. The transfer looked great. This also had Dolby Atmos as well that sounded phenomenal. This was just a great 4K overall. So highly recommend that one. Let me take a drink real quick, guys. All right. First Blood. First Blood on 4K looks great. A lot of this, it takes place in the woods, and the scenery outside, it looks phenomenal. So, yeah, I thought First Blood. I feel like some people came out and said that this one didn't look as good as it did, but I highly recommend First Blood on 4K. It looks fantastic. One of the best that I've seen. And Rainbow 2 looks great too. I didn't bring that over here, but Rainbow 2 looks great. And Rainbow 3. Those are all in the 80s. I should have brought all the Rainbows over, but I didn't. Do the Right Thing from 1989. I actually haven't seen this 4K yet because I watched it on the Criterion edition and they put this out. But I have heard really good things about this 4K. I've heard it looks fantastic. And I really just wanted to show this steelbook off again because I haven't got to show it off in a while, and it's a great 4K steelbook. I think this was a Target exclusive, but this is a great movie. It's probably my favorite Spike Lee movie, to be honest. It's either this one or Malcolm X. But this steelbook is freaking awesome. I love this steelbook. All right. We got Cujo. We got Cujo on 4K, guys. This was a really good looking 4K. I reviewed this one. I think it's solid. I think it's one of the best of the 80s for sure. Cujo looked great on 4K, but that's a Kino Lorber release. I'll go through my Kinos real quick. Spaceballs on 4K looked fantastic on 4K. I love seeing this movie. So I haven't seen Star Wars on 4K, but I have seen Spaceballs on 4K. So very happy about that. We also got Dressed to Kill, Brian De Palma film on 4K. I thought this was a really solid 4K restoration. Now, from what I remember, this one was pretty grain heavy, but I still thought it looked really nice. And the colors and stuff definitely stood out in 4K and HDR. So I do highly recommend Dressed to Kill on 4K. Really nice looking 4K for sure. So let's jump back into the chat, guys. Make sure you guys are still hanging with me. We got Dell on movies here. What's up, Dell? I talked about Fright Night, Kevin. Let me get back. Up to the top. 4K release of Buckaroo Banzai. Buckaroo Banzai. You know what? I've been meaning to watch that movie for the longest time, and I have not done so. So I need to, at some point, give old Buckaroo Didn't that come out in 1984? Is that a 1984 release? Guys, if you haven't hit the like button yet, hit that like button. I would appreciate it. Let's see. Does Walmart restock on their exclusive Steelbooks? Creep Show has been out of stock for the past few weeks. I don't know. I would assume they will, but also that's Scream Factory, so maybe they won't. Maybe that was a one-time kind of deal thing, but yeah, I mean, maybe that'll come back in stock at some point. I feel like Scream Factory has restocked their Steelbooks before. Willow on 4K would be awesome. Let's see. What's my favorite thing to order from Chinese? I haven't had Chinese in quite some time, but I used to like getting General Tso's chicken, shrimp fried rice. I enjoy. I really just like egg rolls. Like I'm just a big egg roll guy. Like I like those. But yeah, those are probably my favorites. Yeah, you might want to, man. Just enjoy the discs that you have. Yeah, that would be cool too, AV Nerd. And instead, we got the shitty gray Steelbooks. It did cost me $250. General Tso, yep, General Tso. Not sweet and sour. I mean, sometimes I'll eat sweet and sour, but I'm not really in the mood to eat those a lot. I like the egg drop soup. I do like Crab Raccoon. Crab Rangoon. What's up, Garrett? Glad you recognize the Rat Pack. True broski. Don't feel. Hey, that was my wife. My wife's trying to start up a feud. That's all her. I told her that. But no, I think she was just, it was all in good fun. She's wanting to start up some kind of like trivia thing with Huck over there on the like 80s and 90s. I think she wanted to do a 90s theme like trivia night. So that's where that all came from. But no, I'm not trying to start up nothing, Garrett's okay. I do still have, is it still in here? I do still have my pink headband though. So let's see. I still refuse to buy the Star Wars OG films on Blu or 4K. I want the theatrical releases, or I stick to my DVDs. Yeah, I mean, it's understandable. It's understandable. I don't mind the special editions because to be honest, I kind of grew up with them. Like I saw them all in the theaters. Like I remember watching Star Wars on TV when I was like a little kid, but like I really got into Star Wars after the special editions came out. So those are the ones that I watched the most. But I do appreciate the older versions for sure, and I would love to see those restored in 4K. Toucan Sam, yeah, Crab Rangoon. I've never tried the Mongolian beef. Yeah, I'm not really a Mongolian beef kind of guy. Goosebumps. Yeah, I didn't watch Are You Fair of the Dark. I wish I did. Like I just didn't watch. I didn't have cable, so I didn't watch Nickelodeon. And I was too old by the time we got it. Nice. I used to have the DVD. I used to have the DVD collection, but I gave it away when I got them on 4K, or I got them on Blu-ray. I mean, sorry, but I still got my special edition VHS set. I still have that. They really have. Yeah, some of you guys are calling out stuff that I do have on my stack. Nice. I said it in my video, but like there's a lot of 4Ks from the 80s. Like they focus on that decade a lot because that's the decade that just hits those nostalgic beats for some people. Like that's the sweet spot, right? Like I mean, there's tons of film fans for the 60s and 70s and 90s and stuff, but I feel like that the 80s is the sweet spot for most of us as collectors, you know, of a certain age. Am I wrong in saying that? Let me know. I didn't get anything. I've got enough, you know, I've got enough. I'm trying to slow down a little bit. A vote for make physical media great again. A vote for Ken is a vote for physical media. Yeah, I just might. But I think there's already a physical media president. I think there is. Halloween 2 is such a great movie. It is. That's honestly my favorite Halloween film. I've said it before, but that's my favorite Halloween film. Yeah, I brought that one up in my video on Sunday because I honestly think that's the best looking Halloween film on 4K. It looks freaking great. Nice. I've got that, but I don't know if I got the 4K. I think I got the Blu-ray. Maybe I have the 4K. I know I have it though. Yeah, Halloween 4 looks incredible. Yeah, I didn't bring over Killer Clowns, but I just reviewed that. So yeah, that's a great 4K. That's a great 4K. Yeah, it was very disturbing. Oh, I didn't bring up Final Countdown. Joseph, you say it's a poor transfer. At the time, I thought it was great looking. I thought it was phenomenal looking. So yeah, I don't understand your disdain for the Final Countdown, but that's one I should have brought over. That is a really good movie too. I get it. I've got sci-fi in my stack, so don't worry. We got most of the horror stuff out of the way. Well, no, we still got quite a bit, but yeah, we talked about it, Beetlejuice. I'm not going to say your name 2 more times. Boom called it, and it's honestly one of my favorite movies. Fright Night is, and also First Blood looks great. Yeah, they look great. They all look great. Do the Right Thing is great. It is. What's up, Frank? if you guys want to see an interview with me, go check out Frank's channel. I just did an interview on his channel recently. Go check it out. B-Dubs Movie Hub. Good stuff as always, Ken. Got a jet, but we'll definitely watch the rest of the stream tomorrow. I appreciate you being here for the time that you were. I appreciate that. We do need man's best friend. I've always been boxers, Jim, because there was an urban legend, would you call it that? An urban legend? I feel like there was a myth or something that was going around when I was a kid that, and I feel like I heard it from like the older crowd, that I had to let my boys breathe. I shouldn't stifle them. I shouldn't keep them all tucked away together. I had to let the boys breathe. So ever since I was like 12 or 13, I've wore boxers. But now that I'm older and I've had kids and everything, I could see myself getting back in briefs at some point, but I've been wearing boxers for so long. I know you guys don't really want to talk about this, but that's what we're getting into. That's what Jim brought up. Blame him. Do you have a favorite scene of the movie Samuel L. Jackson Glass? I can't remember, honestly, like a particular scene from that. I remember liking the movie, but I've only seen it once. The scene where Bruce Willis gets his, I don't want to give away spoilers. Sorry, guys. If you haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil it. It's got a 4K in Germany. I wish I would have got it. Absolutely. I do wear those from time to time. It's got one, Beard Daddy Games. It's got a 4K. Same here, Dell. Same here, man. Thank you, Steve. No, I do. I eat the fortune cookies. I open them up and I see what my fortune is and I eat them. I never not do the fortune cookie. Ken, why is Chinese takeout so hot? I wait 20 minutes. They keep it hot for you, man. That's a good thing in my book. Yeah, you guys are putting me in the mood for Chinese. It's crazy. Spicy Mongolian beef. Need some Cheech and Chong 4Ks. Yeah, I put some soy sauce in the drawer and maybe some duck sauces in there as well. Which sometimes I'll put the duck sauce on the egg roll. I will use it from time to time, but not always. Everybody's talking Chinese tonight. Next week's stream is going to be all about Chinese food. Spare ribs. I've never got spare ribs. What's up, Michael? Thank you, Wayne. I never really think about collecting VHS, Eli, if I'm being completely honest. So I don't know what that would be. I don't know what that would be because I've seen some that I would like to have. But they're like $8 or $9. I'm just not willing to pay that much for a VHS tape. So I don't know if there's any out there that I just like need. Maybe Back to the Future. Maybe Back to the Future I would want on VHS or something. But yeah, I can't think of a VHS tape that I need in the collection. Nice. Russell lost his mind. Yeah, Unhinged is a great movie. Child's Play 2 does look great, but I didn't mention that because that's 90s. It's 90s. Let's see. Yep, they're all 70s. Jigsaw wants to play a game. I don't know, Jigsaw. What kind of game we playing? You gotta let me know. All right, let's talk about some more 4Ks. I didn't bring this up in my video, but when I got done, I was like, damn, I should have talked about this one because this really was a phenomenal 4K that I never got a chance to review. But I watched it for the first time last year. This is another Brian De Palma film on 4K, Blowout from the Criterion Collection. Looks excellent. Like this 4K is like outstanding. It's one of the best I've ever seen. So highly recommend this one. And this is this is 1981. But if you haven't seen Blowout, like it's a great movie. Like I honestly want to rewatch it because it's so freaking good. John Travolta's phenomenal. Nancy Allen's great. You got John Lithgow in this movie as well. And just a really cool movie. And a great looking 4K. Criterion did a good job. I don't have a lot of Criterion 4Ks because I just choose not to upgrade a lot of Criterion 4Ks because they don't give me a whole lot of incentive with the packaging. But I didn't upgrade that one. I just bought that for the first time on 4K, which is why I'm trying to be choosy with what I buy from Criterion on Blu-ray because I never know when they're going to upgrade it. I just reviewed this one, but I'll bring it up again. Basket Case, I thought was a really good looking 4K for a movie that was shot on 16 millimeter. I thought the creature effects looked great. And I know there were some people that were kind of reluctant to upgrade this one, but I thought it was a phenomenal 4K for what it was. A little grainy, but it really looked great. Really looked great. After Hours, another really good 4K from the Criterion Collection, Martin Scorsese film. Thought it looked great on 4K. That's a 1985 movie. And then this may be the best 4K in the Criterion Collection. Raging Bull is phenomenal on 4K, black and white movie. And I think those look excellent in 4K. And this is maybe the only black and white movie I've got on my list from the 80s because they weren't doing black and white a lot at this time. It wasn't like a cool artsy thing to do black and white. I feel like in the 80s, like it is now, like you'll get a ton of black and white movies nowadays. And that's just people trying to be, artsy with their films and put it in black and white, or maybe it's cheaper, to do it in black and white. But you didn't get that a ton in the 80s. So this is one of the few black and white films. Maybe there's another one from the 80s that's on 4K. So Raging Bull looks great on 4K though. Top tier 4K for sure. Let's see. Talk about some Arrow releases. We got The Last Starfighter on 4K. Looks phenomenal. I think the Blu-ray looks good. That one had a 4K scan, but this 4K just really fleshed out some of those colors with that HDR. And I thought it looked great. Last Starfighter, that's a phenomenal 4K. Great movie too. I really love that movie. A lot of people gave me crap for not bringing these up. And I said these are some of the best 4K transfers I've ever seen when they came out. But Conan the Barbarian and Conan the Destroyer are great 4Ks, both from the 80s. I definitely recommend these. I reviewed these on the channel, so go check it out. I reviewed a lot of this stuff, guys. Raging Bull I reviewed. Last Starfighter I reviewed. I reviewed Dune on 4K, guys. Everybody's hyped up about the Denis Villeneuve films. But go back and watch this one. This one is a masterpiece compared to Denis Villeneuve films. All right, this is my favorite Dune movie. I'm going to get a lot of hate in the comments section now. I'm sorry. I have to push back a little bit because I got so much crap when I reviewed Dune Part 2 on 4K over my opinion on the movie because I didn't think it was the second coming of Jesus Christ in cinema form. I got crap for it. I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. I didn't think it was the greatest movie of all time. This one's fun. It's silly fun. I like it. But it's not a great movie. But the 4K is phenomenal. Like this movie looks spectacular. All the Dune movies look great on 4K, and this one's no exception. David Lynch's Dune. Great 4K from Arrow. Disappointing we never got that documentary, though, that they were going to put out, and then they couldn't. I hope to see that at some point. Witness. Somebody brought it up earlier. Witness. I reviewed this last year. Great 4K. Spectacular 4K. One of the best for sure. And this is a great Harrison Ford movie if you haven't seen it. From the 80s, 1985, I believe is when this came out. But I love Witness, and I thought this 4K was a real standout of last year for sure. But that's the Arrow stuff. I think I got all the boutique stuff out of the way. Now we can talk about some trying to not dump these over as I move them. We can talk about some studio 4Ks. And I've got it. I've got the Lost Boys. I've got the crappy cover and all for the Lost Boys. I did a 1987 recommendation shorts, I think a couple of weeks ago, and I pulled the Blu-ray of the Lost Boys because I like the cover better. And everybody's like, you didn't get the 4K? You didn't get the 4K? I was like, no, I got it. I like the the original poster art better than I like this crap that looks like a Lego set or something. So I don't know, guys. It's not a great cover, but this was a really solid 4K restoration that Warner Brothers did. So definitely highly recommend The Lost Boys on 4K for sure. We got the Mad Max movie coming out this week, Furiosa movie, and I recommend both The Road Warrior and Beyond Thunderdome on 4K. I thought these are both really nice 4K restorations from Warner Brothers. I feel like people talk crap. Maybe I'll get some pushback for this, but I recently watched this in December for Christmas, and I thought this 4K looked great. Gremlins on 4K, but I feel like when it came out, people were talking crap about it. So I don't know what the issue was with Gremlins on 4K, but I thought this was a really great 4K restoration. So I don't know. I hope we get Gremlins 2 on 4K, if I'm being honest. All right. I haven't watched this, but a lot of people were calling this one out, so I guess it's a good 4K. Goonies on 4K, guys. Is this a good restoration? I actually haven't opened this yet. I haven't opened. You guys want a digital code? I can open it up. I need to rewatch this movie because I admittedly I watched it for the first time like back in 2017 or 2018. I didn't grow up with it. And I just didn't love it. I guess I was hoping for something different. I remember watching clips of this when I was a kid. Like I remember the Cyclops monster and everything. I don't know. Like I was all like excited for it. I'm like, oh, it's going to be a cool movie that's going to feel like some of the movies that I grew up with in the 80s. And it's got all the kids from the 80s movies in it that I love. And I was just like, I don't know. When I got done watching, I was like, that was all right. I just didn't love it. But I need to rewatch it, give it another shot because I want to love it. I want to love the Goonies. I really do, but I don't. So maybe I'll watch it on 4K because I watched it on DVD for the first time. Didn't even watch it on Blu-ray. So maybe I'll appreciate it more in higher format. But don't hate me. I just don't love the Goonies, but I brought it here because it's a classic 80s film and it's on 4K and I should talk about it. For all you James Cameron fans out there, I got The Abyss on 4K. I think this one's the best looking of the new James Cameron 4Ks. So there was really only one issue I had with this, and that was all the stuff above C didn't look great. But beyond that, it was a really stellar 4K that, Disney and 20th Century Fox did for this, or 20th Century Studios, and James Cameron did a good job with The Abyss. I don't have Aliens here because I didn't think that was a great transfer. I just didn't. But The Abyss, I will call out for sure. Top Gun. This is a great 4K. I think this one looks phenomenal on 4K, and I'm pretty sure. Didn't they include? Did they have Dolby Atmos on this? I can't quite remember. It does. Yeah, it has Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos. So yeah, great 4K by Paramount. I remember I rewatched this before we saw Maverick. So I was just like in the perfect mood to rewatch this movie, and we watched Maverick, and yeah, I need to rewatch this one again. Great looking 4K though. Tony Scott, just like the way he directs and his visuals, just look fantastic on 4K. But a lot of people called that movie out as well. A lot of people gave me crap for this one. This is maybe my one big regret for not including on the list. But The Thing, this is really truly like one of the best looking 4Ks, like with some of the best looking practical effects, makeup effects, special effects of all time. And they look so freaking stunning in 4K. I watched this one again last year on the OLED for the first time, and I was just like blown away. Like I was blown away when I watched it on my other 4K TV that wasn't as good. But like when I watched this on the OLED, oh my God, like I was like, this is so stunning. Universal usually does a great job with their 4Ks. They do. Like they usually do some really good work, because I talked about Howard the Duck. So maybe I should have replaced Howard the Duck with this, but I still stand by Howard the Duck. That's a great 4K. But this is a phenomenal 4K release as well. So I highly recommend this for sure. Great 4K from Universal, The Thing. And I do regret not including that. I really do. Vacation. I reviewed this last year. I thought this looked excellent. Great looking 4K. And I've been calling for more comedies on 4K. And this is a step in the right direction. I want to see more of this type of stuff. So Vacation on 4K. Really cool release by Warner Brothers. So I took these out of the box set because they're both 80s movies, and the first two in this franchise I think are 70s. But I just brought these two over, and I thought these were the two best looking 4Ks of this box set of this franchise in the 80s. And that's Superman 3 and Superman 4. I thought both of these 4Ks look great. Say what you want about the movies. I know there's people that aren't fans of these movies. I actually thought Quest for Peace wasn't as bad as people were saying. It's not great, but it wasn't as bad as people were saying. I like that Gene Hackman came back and Margot Kidder, but I did not like Superman 3 at all. I did not like Superman 3. I just thought that the addition, I love Richard Pryor, but I thought the addition of Richard Pryor was a little ridiculous. But both of them look great on 4K. They were the best looking 4Ks of the bunch, which I'm sure Superman fans do not want to hear. Then Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan looked great on 4K. There's other Star Trek films from the 80s, I know, but this is the one that I remember looking the best. And this is the one that everybody loves. So I thought I would bring this one up, but this is a great looking 4K for sure. We also got, a lot of people gave me crap for not including this, but The Shining is a top tier 4K. I did think about bringing this one over. This was in my hands, but I put it back because I was like, you know what? I feel like everybody would predict this one, and I just didn't want the list to turn into horror, so I put this one back. And it's a great looking 4K though. Like Warner Brothers did a great job on this for sure. So I highly recommend The Shining on 4K. Predator, Dylan, you son of a bitch. This is a phenomenal 4K. Now, I have not got a chance to rewatch this one on the OLED, so I'm hoping to soon because my son and I, we watched RoboCop last week, and I want to watch Predator with him. I'm hoping tomorrow. So I'll be watching this one on 4K very soon. And, maybe give my thoughts on it. I may go back and do some reviews of some older, 4Ks at some point. I don't know if anybody would want that or not, to not just do brand new 4Ks. I've got so much on my plate already, but Predator, I would like to revisit this one on 4K with the OLED and maybe give my thoughts on it afterwards if I really enjoyed it. But I've heard from everybody this is a great looking 4K. So yeah, great looking 4K. Predator for sure is a staple of the 80s. Poltergeist, people were giving me some crap about Poltergeist. This was a phenomenal 4K. I reviewed this on the channel. This is the one that had the epilepsy warning on it because of the flashing strobe light effect from the TV. And I can tell you watching it, I almost had a seizure myself watching it, and I'm not epileptic. I had to close my eyes for a second because it was so freaking strong with that HDR. But that just goes to show you how great the transfer was. Great transfer by Warner Brothers on Poltergeist. So that's definitely a top tier 4K for sure. We also got Pet Sematary, which I love this movie. I think Paramount did a great job with the restoration on it for sure. The Outsiders, Francis Ford Coppola film, The Outsiders. I thought this was a really solid 4K restoration. And yeah, really good restoration. That's all I can say about it, guys. It really is. But all right, I still got a stack of some other stuff. Let me go back into the chat, and then we'll get into my final 4K picks. Let's see. Predator, I hardly knew her. Oh my goodness. Hey, we got movies of Brandon. Everybody's been talking about you and your Thing collection night, Brandon. You're kind of a celebrity now. But thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. I appreciate it, man. How you doing, man? Just popped in. Hope you're having a great night. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, everybody go check out Christian's interview with Movies of Brandon, his Thing collection. And let me give you a little clip, Brandon.
What are you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for?
All right. Let's scroll back up and see where I left off. Oh, thank you, Scott. Thank you. That is a great movie. And I'll get that at some point. I will. Yeah, and Warner Brothers is the worst at it because they do new artwork and it's never good. It's I can't think of a Warner Brothers. Well, The Goonies is pretty good. The Goonies is pretty good. Vacation was good. I like the cover art for Vacation. The Shining. Oh, The Shining's probably their best. The Shining's probably their best. So they've done good art. For some reason, like whoever took over the artwork for Warner Brothers, like recently, I feel like has just sucked. There's been good ones though. Mad Max was good too. It doesn't necessarily bother me. Like if it's good, it doesn't bother me, but you can never go wrong with the classic artwork. You just can't. So like I think that most, studios need to go with that if they have the option, the opportunity to. For sure. Blood Simple 4K. I didn't get Blood Simple on 4K. I need to at some point, but I got the Blu-ray, so it's just hard for me to upgrade sometimes with Criterion. Eli, thanks for all you do for this awesome community, Ken. Putting up daily deals all the time takes time. You are much appreciated, Bud. Keep up the great work on the channel. Yeah, I'm really trying to hit the deals and let you guys know the deals that are out there and stuff. And I'll get people that comment sometimes to be like, these deals suck. I'm like, look, guys, they're not the best deals that there's ever been for these particular releases, but they are the best deals right now. And I like to keep you all informed. I'm not saying you have to buy it at this price. Like, keep yourself informed on the prices and how it shifts and stuff. But these are the best deals right now. And sometimes, like today, I posted all the Mad Max movies are $15. I've actually got them all linked down below in the description. All the Mad Max movies are $15, and that 4-film collector set is $40. So I thought those are pretty good deals. Will they be like $10 on Black Friday? Maybe. But that's Black Friday. Like if you want them now, they're $15. So there you go. But I do it to help you all, but also to help me because I've got the Amazon affiliate link. So that definitely helps me financially, but it doesn't cost you all anything, So I like to do stuff that helps me financially while not costing you all any of your own personal money, because I know we're all trying to get by and we all want to buy physical media and stuff. So I appreciate support in that way as well. But again, you don't have to buy it. You don't have to buy it. You've asked that question numerous times, Meat and Potatoes. I don't. I should have got that. Isn't that on Netflix? Oh, nice. You just got back from EDC while I was in Vegas. Nice. That's cool. I've never been to Vegas. I'm trying, Christian. My daughter really doesn't have an interest in the older movies lately, but my son, I'm trying to get into more older movies. Yep, for sure. Yep. That Blu-ray looks amazing. Like if you said you're good with the Blu-ray, like I would understand. Thank you, Dell. That's what I think. They're just pretty good. They're good. I like them. They got some, that I don't know. I don't resonate with them. Like I'm not like emotionally attached to anybody in those movies. So it's hard for me to connect to them. But I get it. Like they're visually stunning. Like they're masterpieces. Like visually, like Villeneuve's a great director, so that's no surprise. But like I can't connect. They just feel very cold and emotionally hollow to me. And I need that. I need to be able to connect to the characters and stuff to be able to fully enjoy a movie. Especially when there's a lot of slow parts that really focus on those character moments. I mean, I get it. It's kind of cheesy, but I like it. I like it. I love camp slashers on 4K, but I would probably have to go with Reanimator. I think there's more there visually that would look good on 4K. But I want them both. Why not both? It is overpriced for sure. Yeah, I loved Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I mean, everybody did. Like he's so good at that character that they've never recast him. So like that has to tell you something. They've recast all the other X-Men. Yeah. Yep. Scarface I talked about in the video. Yeah, a lot of people grew up that movie. I get it. I get it. Nice. I hope you're enjoying it. Yeah, it's a lot of people, like, the people that love the Goonies really love the Goonies. Like, I really wanna like it, I really do. I really do, I really wanna like it. It's like Bubba Hotep, I don't really wanna like, but the Goonies, I really wanna love. So I'm hoping on my next watch, like, something clicks and I like it more. It is a masterpiece. It is an excellent 4K. Um, yeah, but again, I grew up with Surf Ninjas, so that's nostalgia. I mean, I haven't seen the movie honestly in like 25 years. So, but I just watched Three Ninjas recently and I thought that that was still fun. Uh, Dell does not like Howard the Duck. I get it. I get it. I didn't bring over the Ghostbusters either because I haven't watched them on 4K yet. I just got the 4K Steelbook last year. Um, but I may have some of those you listed. Let's see. Antanas, what is the best physical media website to buy 4Ks on besides Amazon? Um, Diabolic, there's Orbit, there's Groove. Um, Hamilton Books has a lot of good deals on 4Ks on there. Um, Grindhouse Video is a good site. So those are the top ones that I would recommend. Diabolic and Groove are probably at the top of my list. I don't use Orbit a lot, but a lot of people love Orbit, so I would recommend them pretty highly as well. I haven't used vintage stock yet. A lot of people are fans of deep discount also. Frantic. Yeah, I need to watch Frantic. No wonder I'm struggling to see. I've got my freaking brightness turned down so much. I wish I could have gotten an Arrow 4K box set, but is it true the set is out of print for the 4 films? Um, what are you talking? What 4 films? I'm not sure what franchise you're talking about. The Psycho box set? Um, I don't know. They just put some new ones up to order though, so you may still be able to get the new ones. But yeah, some of those limited edition box sets, man, you got to get on right away. And I didn't bring over my Psycho set, and I didn't bring over my Hellraiser set, but the first Hellraiser looks great on 4K, and all the Psycho movies. I think all the Psycho movies, the sequels, are in the 80s, and they all look great as well. But I didn't bring those down here. That would be awesome, man. That would be awesome. Definitely send me a link when you do so I can subscribe. Thank you for being here, Joseph. I hope your doctor's appointment goes well tomorrow, whatever you're going in for. Let's see. Well, it might have just repeated itself in the chat. It might have been a glitch or something. See, there's another like Dune fanatic. Like it's if you don't think these movies, if you don't have the same opinion as some people, it's like they just freaking come for you. It's like it's crazy. Like, can't you just accept that? I just thought it was okay. I mean, I listen to people's movie opinions all the time that I don't necessarily agree with, but it's just that's what makes the community so great, and all this stuff is so fun to talk about. Like, it would be boring if we all had the exact same opinion. It would be so boring. Um, but yeah, I get it. You love Dune. You love it. It's cool. Um, I don't know if they touched that movie. I think that's Fox too, isn't it? I think Revenge of the Nerds is Fox. I don't think there's any chance we're going to get that. I don't think so. I think that's Fox too. I don't know. They do have some good sales for sure. They do have good sales. That's cool. Yeah, I've heard great things about Orbit. I have, and I've ordered stuff from Orbit. It's just for some reason Diabolic's kind of my go-to. Tyrese really wants me to unbox a 6-film collection from the DVD 6-film collection of Terminator. No, if it's out of print, it's probably very expensive, and I'm not looking to buy stuff that's very expensive like that, because a lot of times when stuff's out of print, it has a tendency to come back, and people have a tendency to put it back into stock. So, yeah, there's nothing I can really think of though that I've got a lot of box sets for like franchises I love. I'm sure there's something, but there's nothing I can think of off the top of my head that I just need to have, Like maybe I would want to have that Halloween box set just to have it, but also I have all those movies on 4K, so it's like, why do I need that? Because I already have them in the best possible version I can get them. So that would be the only thing. Yeah, hopefully we get a nice steelbook of that announced soon. Tyrese, I'm gonna have to put you in timeout for a little bit. Keep asking the same crap over and over. Oh, I haven't watched Real Genius. Is that a good 4K? I'm not buying it for $70. Like if it was like 40, maybe 50, I would get it. But like I don't like those movies enough to spend that kind of money on that. Just for a steelbook with all the discs like condensed in it. Like if it was like a nice box set, like a Fly box set or an Omen box set that Scream Factory put out for Hatchet with some really cool artwork all around it, maybe I would pay 60. But 70, $80 for a steel book with all the discs like shoved in there, like for movies that I don't love, like I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that. I'll wait till it goes down in price a little bit. Which I'm thinking to myself now, I don't think I covered that on the physical media report this week. I kind of missed it. I kind of missed that. Yeah, I need to circle around and cover that on the physical media report next week. I'm kind of new to your channel. I want to ask, what is your favorite horror movie of all time? The Exorcist is my favorite of all time. Okay, there's controversy here because Mo Lester says that Grindhouse does weekly updates on YouTube, not Orbit. Okay. All right, guys, we're going to get into more of the list. I've got a stack of 80s movies. A lot of people gave me crap about not putting these on the list, but I've got Indiana Jones, the 4Ks of Indiana Jones. I had this in my hands, but I put it back and I grabbed Back to the Future instead because I just like those movies more. So I wanted to talk about those. And the 4K, that the Back to the Future 4K was the first 4K that I watched on my OLED. And I was stunned and blown away by it. But the Indiana Jones movies, like I need to rewatch these ones on the OLED because I watched them on my old 4K TV. And I remember them looking really good. And I think this got a lot of praise when it came out. So Indiana Jones movies absolutely looked great on 4K. Of course, Crystal Skull, that's a 2000s film, but the trilogy is all in the 80s, and they all looked really good on 4K. So including those for sure on this best of list. We also got Evil Dead 2. Phenomenal 4K from what I remember, but it's been a while since I've seen this. I need to revisit it. I actually don't have the first one on 4K. I've got a Blu-ray Steelbook, and I never bought the 4K of it. So I need to get the first one on 4K at some point. I wanted to get that box set, but I can't bring myself to pull the trigger on it. But Evil Dead 2 is phenomenal on 4K. It was. This may be controversial, but I like this 4K. I've got it on my shirt, so I'm going to bring it up. Friday the 13th, I thought looked really good on 4K, and I confirmed it when I rewatched it on the OLED, and I thought it looked fantastic. So I'm a big fan of the Friday the 13th 4K. It kind of brings the film back to its natural look, and I don't think the woods looked better. Camp Crystal Lake never looked better than it did with this 4K. I think the Blu-ray that Shout did, it's a really good one, but it's way too saturated, and I like the colors in this one better. I like the look of this one better. And it's darker, yes, but I think that kind of adds to the atmosphere and makes it a little bit more scary. So I'm a big fan of Friday the 13th 4K. I thought it looked really good, but I know a lot of people were complaining when that one came out. Full Metal Jacket. This is a top tier 4K. It looked freaking spectacular on 4K. Love this movie, and I thought this 4K looked phenomenal, especially when you get to some of those like wartime sequences at the end. It's just a great 4K. So great Kubrick film, looks great on 4K as well. Most of the Kubrick films look really good on 4K. I didn't bring this up, and I honestly should because I love this 4K, but Flashdance, really great 4K, came out last year. I kind of always talk about this one and reference it as the moment where Paramount kind of turned things around with 4K. I feel like they did a really great job with Flashdance. People were down on them and their 4K transfers, and Flashdance came out on 4K and wowed us all. This is a great 4K, phenomenal, almost boutique quality 4K from Flashdance, which I was super surprised about. E.T., come on, guys. E.T., look at this nice lenticular box set I've got of E.T. This was amazing. I'm going to keep doing this. I like the way it looks. Amazing 4K, really great 4K from Universal, and just one of my favorite movies of all time. This is my second favorite movie of all time, is E.T. We got the Karate Kid box set. The first one looks great on 4K. The second one looks great on 4K. And I actually haven't watched the third one yet. But I do have all these are in the 80s, I'm pretty sure. Maybe the third one's in the 90s, but I think that the first two at least are in the 80s. But you can't get Karate Kid Part 2 on 4K unless they re-release it, because I think this box set's out of print. But both the first one and the second one look great. This box set added the Dolby Vision, and they look really great on 4K. So I had to bring this up. I love this box set too, that Sony did. It just sucks that if you didn't pick it up, you can't get it unless you want to pay a steep price now for it. I think I got this. This like went on sale and I jumped on it. I think it went on sale for like $40 and I pulled the trigger on it back in 2021, I think is when it came out. We got A Christmas Story on 4K. I thought this was a really good looking 4K. And I saw I've been watching this movie since I was a kid. I love this movie. And I love getting to rewatch this one in 4K every year. I thought it was a great 4K. I reviewed this one, and a little grainy from what I remember, but still a phenomenal 4K. Great colors on this one as well. Oh, somebody came in the chat and farted. Matt farted, and then he said he's going back to sleep. Well, good night, man. I hope you have a good night. Beetlejuice. A lot of people called this one out. This was a really good looking 4K, and I do love this movie. It's probably it's at least in my top 10 movies of all time. This movie means the world to me. I've been watching it since I was like 5 years old, and I just love it so much. And it really was a great looking 4K. So highly recommend Beetlejuice on 4K. Warner, and this is another Warner Brothers cover that I like. I like this cover. It feels like the classic poster, but it adds some more stuff in there, some background stuff with the worms and stuff like that. And you got, Barb and Alan down there in the corner. So, really, really good looking 4K though. Good looking 4K. People wanted me to talk about Beverly Hills Cop, and I don't have the first one on 4K, but I do have the second one, and the second one does look really great on 4K. Same with Top Gun. This is a movie directed by Tony Scott, so his visuals are always fantastic and looked really good on 4K. I reviewed that one as well. We'll talk about Blade Runner on 4K. Now, I haven't got a chance to watch this one on the OLED. I really want to. And I really need to, but from what I remember on my older TV, it still looked incredible. So I imagine it's going to look even better on the OLED when I finally get around to watching it. But yeah, 35th anniversary of Blade Runner. Great movie, great sci-fi movie, great 4K for sure from the 80s. Actually came out, the funny thing about Blade Runner, it came out the same day as The Thing. Both of these came out the same day and they bombed to E.T. in like its third or fourth week in the theaters. So there's a fun fact for you. Coming to America with Eddie Murphy. I thought this was great. This is one I always go back to as like one of the best looking Eddie Murphy 4Ks. And from looking at this right now, guys, Paramount started doing the 4K only releases pretty early on because this is from 2020. This came out in 2020. And I don't feel like they had fully transitioned yet to 4K only, but this one had just a 4K, which I'm just now noticing. But really great release. I like the sticker on the front of it too. I can't bring myself to peel it off. First time on 4K sticker. But yeah, Coming to America, that's a great 4K. Trading Places was a good 4K too, if we're talking about John Landis, Eddie Murphy 4Ks. But I did not bring that one over. Christmas Vacation, really great 4K. I love this movie. I love that. I watch this movie every single year without fail, Christmas Eve. So now every single Christmas Eve, I get to watch this movie in glorious 4K, best possible picture format and quality. And yeah, just love this movie so much. So glad to finally get to see the shitters full in 4K for sure. I will treasure that for the rest of my life. That'll be a 4K I'll get my money's worth out of for sure. Somebody brought this up in the chat earlier, but John Carpenter's Christine. This is a great 4K. I've been wanting to rewatch this one though, because I haven't watched this one since it first came out. So I haven't seen this one on the OLED either. But from what I remember, like this 4K looked excellent, absolutely fantastic. And this is one of the few John Carpenter movies that is not on 4K in the Scream Factory catalog. Scream Factory did not put this movie out on 4K. Sony did. And yeah, it's one of the ones that Scream Factory couldn't get the license, which I think is pretty interesting. But yeah, Christine's great. It's firmly in like my top 3 John Carpenter movies, and it looks so good on 4K for sure. And lastly, guys, we have The Color Purple. I reviewed this on the channel last year, and I thought this was a great, phenomenal looking 4K. I think this was in my top 10. I feel like this was in my top 10 4Ks of 2023. I could be wrong. It was at least in my top 15. But I thought this was a great 4K, absolutely fantastic 4K that not a lot of people talked about, but really great movie too. Like this movie like moved me when I got done watching it. I loved it. And the 4K was incredible. So many great colors and moments and just opportunities for this 4K to shine with the HDR and the Dolby Vision. And I thought Warner Brothers did a great job restoring this movie. So The Color Purple from the 80s is on my best 4Ks of the 80s list. So there you have it, guys. That's it. I covered a lot of bases. I hope I made everybody happy with me doing this tonight, and I covered all the great 4Ks. I'm seeing another one on the floor. Let me grab it. Major League. I just reviewed this one, but I'll bring this one up again. This was a phenomenal 4K from Paramount. And I can't get over the magnets on the back. Put more magnets. That's what we need. A movement to put more magnets on our steel books. But this is a great, phenomenal looking 4K for sure. But all right, guys, that's it. We'll get back into the chats. See if you guys have any closing thoughts, anything you want to say. And then we'll close out this stream for the night. I appreciate everybody that joined me tonight. We still got 122 people in the chat. Hit the like button if you haven't already. And let's scroll back up. Fiber is very important. It is. It is important to keep you regular for sure. Did that got a steel book? I don't remember that getting a steel book. I'll have to look that up. Let me look that up real quick because I'm curious. Why didn't I get that when it came out? Was that like an overseas steel book? Full Metal Jacket steelbook. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it did. That is a good steelbook. I remember that now. I remember that. Damn it, I should have got that. That is a really great steelbook. I never see anybody show that off. I like the slipcover artwork though. I do. That's another good Warner Brothers slip art. But yeah, let me bring this up for you guys. Yeah, that's really cool artwork for sure. I should have I should have got that. I really should. I've got FOMO right now. I've got FOMO. What is going on here? All right, there we go. Let's see. Friday the 13th, my favorite horror franchise. I love Friday the 13th. Yeah, Orbit is great. Orbit is great. I haven't seen Jacob Ladder. I need to. Bride of Chucky, I can tell from your picture. Favorite horror movie of all time. I like Bride of Chucky. I've got a weird relationship with Bride of Chucky. I liked it when I first saw it, and then I detested it for a long time. And now I like it again. For me, though, like the original 3 are my favorite in that franchise. That's when Chucky was still scary and having some of the best one-liners. It's all good, man. It's all good. If it's all in fun, it's all in fun. You know, I just I got attacked a lot for that Doom Part 2 review, and I stood up to it. I stand by my opinion always. But it's a lot. And that came like back to back off The Crow. My God, can you guys just not understand what movie opinions are? Sometimes I feel like Adam Sandler in The Wedding Singer. I'm just like, well, I have a microphone and you don't. So you will listen to every damn word that I have to say. You know, these are my opinions. They're only my opinions. You know, if you got a different opinion, then sound off. I definitely don't care if you tell me your opposing opinion, but like, don't sit there and give me like multiple paragraphs about how my opinion is wrong. That's not how opinions work. Okay. We all see things from a different perspective. We see art differently. We're all our own unique individuals. Okay. I'll get up my soapbox now. The theatrical cut. Director's cut's okay, but they add too much in there. That's just not necessary. Like the spider walk's cool, but it's not necessary. I like the theatrical cut. Most of the time I like the theatrical cut for most everything. Definitely love Friday the 13th 4K. My new go-to now when I watch it, it has to be the uncut version. Nice. 4K of Jason Lives will look excellent. Will look freaking awesome. No, because I haven't gotten any tattoos since I was like 20. So, which I mean, I bought VHSs and DVDs back then, but it wasn't. I always say like when I bought like that stuff back in the day, like I didn't consider myself a collector. That's just what we did. Like you wanted to watch a movie like on repeat, which we did a lot back in the day. You had to buy the VHS or the DVD. Like we didn't have streaming to watch. So I didn't consider myself, I wasn't like collecting, movies. I was just like, I'm buying movies that I want to rewatch, So no, I don't have anything for that. To be honest, I probably won't get any more tattoos in my life. I don't need them. No, I haven't really returned anything really, except for if something came in the mail damaged. Yeah, it's coming to Netflix, I think, in June. There's a trailer and everything. It's still coming. I'm excited for it. It looks good. It looks really good. I know it includes the final cuts. It's pretty heavy. So I would assume, let's see. Introduction by Ridley Scott. You got the documentary on here. It might just be the final cut. I would have assumed that they would have included all of them. Blade Runner, the final cut in 4K. Blade Runner, the final cut on Blu-ray. And then disc 2 on Blu-ray that's a DVD. Damn, they put the documentary on DVD. And then disc 4 is Enhancement Archive. So it's a 4-disc set, but it looks like just the final cut, man. Which, to be honest, like, I prefer the final cut with Blade Runner. I don't like the voiceover. So, and I think majority of the people feel that way. That's why the first time I watched Blade Runner, I think on HBO Max or something, it didn't resonate with me. I didn't love it. But I rewatched the final cut and liked it a lot more. Because I watched the theatrical cut initially. But yeah, that sucks. They need to do a re-release and do them all in 4K. You know, for people that want the option, because they're pretty different. I hope so. I didn't know that they didn't have any of the other cuts, or at least the theatrical cut. Oh, it's such a great movie. Christine does look great. Glad you liked it, Antonis. Spielberg movies always look, yeah, they do. Great director. I appreciate it too, Cam. Haas McPizza. I don't have the 4K. I don't have Batman 89 on 4K. I don't. I got the Blu-ray still. I need to get the 4K at some point. Thank you, Dale. I appreciate you being here, man. Let's see. Orbit has some Disney Movie Club exclusives on their site for a decent price. Picked up the Mighty Ducks today. Well, I may need to jump on there. Possession did look good on 4K. So, yeah. Videodrome I don't have on 4K. But I talked about Predator and Blowout. Nope. You'll be the first. I'll be the first to get on here and freak out if that gets a 4K announcement. I love that movie. That and Con Air and The Rock, like all those Nicolas Cage movies need 4Ks. What's up, Mega Mike? How you doing tonight, man? I do too, mainly because I haven't seen Platoon. But I do love Full Metal Jacket. This is my rifle. This is my gun. This is for shooting and this is for fun. Nice. 48 Hours was nice. I wouldn't consider 48 Hours like a best of, but it was a solid 4K. Well, Eli, I've already said hi to Eli. Oh, is it out of print? That sucks. That sucks. He said the first. Don't tell the internet that, Shad. You'll get freaking reprimanded. I get it. I didn't like the first Doom when I first watched it. I rewatched it, and I do like the first like hour and a half of that movie a lot. It was a lot better for me. Had a better pace, and I just got into it more. But like the last like hour of that movie is such a slog. Like after the attack on the family, like and when they're like exiled to the desert, like it's so freaking boring after that. And that's how the second one starts, and then you're in the desert with all the Fremen people for like another hour. So I'm like, the second one just starts off like the first one ends, which is my least favorite part, and then that one finally gets ramped up, and I can enjoy it in the last like hour and a half. When Austin Butler comes in, I think it kicks it up a notch. But yeah, I just don't love those movies. Scribble Tits, have we talked about the 4K Nightmare on Elm Street yet? Curious what you like to see in that special features wise. I did a video on that a couple of weeks ago, Scribble Tits, so you can go check out that video. I don't think we'll get anything new special features wise. I hope we do, but I don't think so. Oh, I would love that. Oh, I would love that so much. I mean, they did Last House on the Left. Like, yeah, I would love that. I don't know who has that movie. I'm still rocking the DVD for that one, but I saw that in the theaters and I was blown away. Like I thought that was such a good movie. Mick Mo seems I remember an earlier episode upgraded with an OLED. How big a difference is it between LED and OLED? Just put in my order myself for an LG C3 arrives June the 4th. I mean, it was night and day for me. Like there's some movies that I remember looking really good on my older TV. But when I got the 4K, it just made me, when I got the OLED, it just made me want to revisit all my movies again, because I'm like, if I remember this movie looking good on that TV, like it's going to blow me away. And there's some 4Ks that I've gone back and rewatched on the OLED that look significantly better and actually changed my opinion on what I thought that 4K looked like initially when I watched it. Alien was one of those, because I watched Alien recently on the OLED and it looked spectacular. Apocalypse Now too. I don't remember that looking as good as it did when I watched it on the OLED. So yeah, it's night and day. Like it really, really improves the picture quality, for sure. Yeah, I talked about that a little bit earlier, Nick. The Others is a really good movie. It's a really good movie. All right, guys, we're done. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. I appreciate everybody for joining me tonight. It was fun. I enjoyed going through this. I definitely want to do more like topic centered streams just to have something to talk about. I mean, doing the Q&As is fun too, but having something to talk about is cool. I'm gonna spend like the next 30 minutes putting away all of these movies. That's the only downside of doing these types of streams, but I appreciate everybody for hanging out with me and everybody that donated with some super chats. I appreciate you guys as well. Gus, Paul, Joseph, Movies of Brandon. Thank you all for the love. I appreciate it. So everybody that's watching, if you haven't hit the like button yet, definitely hit the like button. Drop me a comment after the stream as well. If you've got any other 80s 4Ks that you'd like to recommend or that you think I should have called out in tonight's stream, let me know in the comment section below. And be on the lookout for, I've got a Vinegar Syndrome recommendation video coming for the Halfway to Black Friday sale that starts this Friday. I've got hopefully a review of Crimson Peak on 4K pretty soon. Maybe a review of Death Dream on 4K pretty soon. I've got a video coming out tomorrow just talking about all my thoughts and opinions on the 4K format, what deserves a 4K, what doesn't. So look out for my future content, some stuff I got coming up. And I appreciate you guys again watching, and I will see you guys later.